Hi, my 4B detectives. Chief Commando Miss Remitz here, reporting for duty, and I hope you are too. Happy Monday. I hope you had a great weekend and are now ready to go for our second week of online schooling. Normally on Mondays, it's a manic Monday, but today we don't have STEM or CPT or Nurse Special. We do have a special, and if you ever are missing STEM, even though you're doing school on the computer, if you're missing STEM, go to the STEM classroom. You can do all of the coding games there. Maybe someday I'll even tell you to as a homework assignment. But today, your homework assignment is to start our next week of journeys. Like I said, normally on Mondays, our routine is to learn our words of the week, our theme of the week, our sound of the week, and get started with our journeys theme or journeys week. So this week, you're going to need your Unit 4 Lesson 16. So this is actually the first lesson in our new unit of journeys. Yay! Normally, we'd celebrate in the classroom and you would get your brand new book, but you all were given it before you left, and I took one home. So we'll be reading that today. Our lesson 16 has actually, if you can see, 10 spelling words. You are so lucky that we are not doing a spelling test. If you choose to do one at home, totally send me the picture. This week's sound is the long O sound. I know that we've just been doing the short O sound, oh, and now this week we'll be doing the long O sound, oh. You can see that both of them make your circle for your mouth. Their mouth makes a circle. So if you ever need to practice and say, name that vowel, is that a short, long O, or is it a different letter? See what shape your mouth makes. Our theme of the week is the moon. So I know we already went to the moon with our planetarium, but our planetarium field trip, but this week we are going to learn a bit more about the moon and a famous astronaut who is a woman that I'm going to look into for Women's History Month, which you'll learn more about tomorrow. But this week we will be doing a Women's History Month Pebble Go Wonder Day sort of presentation, and you'll use Flipgrid for that. I'll tell you more about that tomorrow, but if you want, you can get started today researching some of the women on Pebble Go. We're going to read our story in a little bit, but let's talk about the long O sound. Let's go. You will be so kind as to take out your Lesson 16 word work packet. I'd love to go through it with you. You can see that the long O sound is this week's theme or sound of the week, but not every word has that magic E. So we know that magic E, when it comes at the end of a consonant vowel consonant pairing, it makes that vowel say its name. And by that we mean it makes the O that matches the name of the letter. So last week for A, it made the sound A. And this week for O, it makes the sound O. So it's matching the name of that letter, like in rope. But that silent E is not coming into play. It's just making that letter say its name. It's not ropey. It's not jokey. It's just rope. So instead of it being a short vowel word like op, that magic E comes in and helps the O say its name. So it goes from rop to rope, jock to joke, bon to bone, stove to stove, pock to poke. And you can see that all of them change because of that long E. We have other words, though, that just end in the O. So, go, no. Those two-letter words have that long I sound, O sound, except for words like this. To. We know that to is a sight word that we need to get over it not matching. Sometimes the words are not going to match our sound of the week, and that's okay. We're just going to need to tell the difference. So instead of the ooh of to, it's now out of the long O family, and instead we have words like s, o, so. O, go, N, O, no. Those are the 2-letter words that we would say are in the long O. So let's talk more about that. We saw that in short vowels, especially consonant vowel consonant words, those just 3-letter words, the O is making the sound, n, not. But when you bring in the magic E, it makes it a long vowel sound. T. That E helps it become O, and it says oat. Note. And that's what I'm writing here. I'm writing you a note. When you are reading this week, and before you share it to me on Flipgrid for your reading log, try and see if you can find any of your spelling words, and try to see if you can find both short and long O words. You have all week, as usual, to complete these packets. And as you can see, I actually have words to know up here. For our moon theme this week, we have some important words like light or around, going around the world, going around the moon. And we have big words that you already know, like because and before. They're going to be part of your packet too, to make sure that you at least get to see them more than just in the story. But as always, detectives, make sure you're looking for your spelling words or the words of the week, so that you know what to look for. Let's look at this week's words. Does this look familiar? This normally hangs up on our board, but today I brought it here so that we can look at this week's words together. Now we know that we have the long O words, but we also have our sight words that are going to be coming up in our book in just a little bit. We're going to read that right after this. But I want to show you these so that you can put them in alphabetical order. Every Monday, your team or your table gets a Post-it note, and you have to put all the week's words in order of their alphabetical standing or how they're spelled. We only have 8 words. And yes, I know normally Miss Remitz does 6, but hey, you're not here right now, so I'm going to give you all 8. You are going to have to put these in alphabetical order when you're done with me. But before that, let's go through them and make sure that you can read them all. We have the word show. I like to show you things in my video. That's how you can tell what this word is. Or I like to watch my favorite shows. Right now, my favorite show is Survivor. So show could be to give someone something and show them it by putting it in their face, letting them look at it. Or a show is something that you watch. Here's our next word. When C and A come together, they make the k sound. K-ar. Karai? If that's not working, let me try and use Flippy Dolphin and flip up the sound. K-air. Carry. Carry. So when you are carrying something, you are holding it and bringing it along with you. I wonder what they're going to be carrying in our story of the week. I know you all know this word because you sing the spelling song to me all the time. B-E-C-A-U-S-E or whatever. I don't really know it, but you sing it to me because you know how to spell it and you know that the song is helpful. See what I did there? The word because is the word that we use to explain ourselves, maybe in an argument, or maybe if we're answering a question and someone's confused, or maybe to explain why you feel one way. Here's our next word. Ooh, I see a blend. BR makes the brr sound. Brr. Make sure you're not saying bruh back at home. Brr. Ing. Bring. If you're carrying something, you're definitely bringing it along with you. So I can see why they put those words together. Here's our next one. A lot of B words. Good luck doing alphabetical order with that. Be, or, before. That's an easy one right there. Because and before. Before means to happen first, to come right in front of something. So if you were second place and I was first place, I came before you. Here we have a very important word if you're going to be talking about the moon or anything with space. It's light. IGH makes the I sound. Light. Light. So the moon, we know, doesn't actually give off its own light. It's a reflection. It's a mirror of the sun's light. So maybe they're going to talk to us about that. I think they will, at least. Here we have an ending blend, nk, 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 and we have a digraph to start, th. When you're reading, make sure you put your hand in front of your mouth and breathe out. If you're getting air on your hands, that means this th is a digraph. Think. And lastly, oh my gosh, we've never had so many words before. It's a round. Oh, Flippy Dolphin, around. Around. Oh, ending blend. Around. So they're going to probably be talking about looking around and seeing nothing, or maybe they mean looking physically around or going around something in a circle. I'm curious to see what they say in our book. I'm going to leave these up on the screen, though I'm sure you can find them in your packet. But what you are going to do is either with a piece of paper or a Post-it note or an index card, I want you to be able to put these 8 words in alphabetical order. You're going to be going from A all the way to Z. If a word begins with that letter, then you're going to write it down. But be careful. If there's a word or more than one word that starts with the same letter, you have to go to the second letter and put them in order. I am going to do the first word because it's so simple. Is there an A word? Yes, here it is, around. So I would put A-R-O-U-N-D, around, as my first word. Uh-oh, but be careful. Was there a B word? Yes, yes, and yes. 1, 2, 3. I need you to figure out their order, but I know that the next 3 words are at least going to start with a B, and the rest are going to be up to you. So good luck with these. You can either pause the video or rewind at the end of the video and write them down so that you can get them in alphabetical order. But for now, let's move on to our story of the week. Yay! Go ahead and take out your new Journeys book. It should have this cute little groundhog looking mouse thing. You know me, I love my gerbils. But this is going to be the book you need. I didn't send home any other Journeys book. I took the other ones out of your seat pockets and replaced this with yours. I hope that you have the correct number. If you don't, that's okay. You can return it to me when we get back. Number 19 is mine because we all know I'm the 19th student. You are going to flip to the first story. It'll say Unit 4. And actually, I guess you won't need me because I forgot that in the student's book, it has an entire page dedicated to the words to know. So we can see all the 8 words that we were talking about in our video earlier. These are the words to know, and they have them here. But thankfully, they are not in alphabetical order, so we don't have to worry about that. I want you to put it in alphabetical order, though. My question this week is about what do astronauts do, or why is it important to know about space or to even go into space? And we're going to try and talk about that here. This is a story, or well, not even a story. This is a text, which is another way we call what we read. This is an informational text because it's teaching me something. So to yourself, wonder, is this fiction or nonfiction? It's teaching me something. It's about something real. It might have fun text features in it. 3, 2, 1. It's nonfiction! Woohoo! So we have another nonfiction story to read during our nonfiction month. That's perfect. And right here, I normally always ask you this question, but if you ever noticed, my questions are always right on the page. What do astronauts do? Let's go to the moon and find out. Make sure you're looking for our words of the week and our sound of the week. Blast off! Would you like to fly to the moon? Let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ... Blast off! I'm interested to see why they count down during a liftoff to go into space. I found out the answer. I'm wondering if you know the answer. Why would they count down from 10 and not just boom, going up? Think about it. The flight. Ooh, on the other page, it said blast off, and the page was about blasting off. Now, on this page, at the top, it says the flight. Knowing that this is nonfiction, that must mean that this is the header. It's at the top of our page, and it has its own title, The Flight. So I'm wondering if this whole page is about what it takes to travel from Earth to the moon, or the flight from Earth to the moon. Let's see if we can find any other text features. It can take 4 days to get to the moon. A rocket helps us blast into space. We ride in the spaceship at the top of the rocket. So right at that point that we all know of, that's where the actual ship is. And the rest of the rocket is just used basically to get them up there. So a lot of rockets kind of come apart when they shoot off into space because they don't need them anymore once they get there. Ooh, I see another text feature. Go ahead, whisper to yourself, or if you're with someone, go ahead and tell them. Do you think this is a label or a caption? If you can't remember which one's which, I'm going to tell you at the end of reading this, but go ahead and make your prediction or tell whoever you're with what you think it is. The surface of the moon is dusty and has many craters. So it's kind of like chalk, it's sandy, it's dusty. And because of all the meteors hitting it, there's all these holes. These giant holes are called craters. So we don't have many craters here in America, let alone the world, but big planets like this or moons like this, they get craters from getting hit by flying rocks. There are no plants or animals on the moon. There's no water or air. The moon has rocks, dust, and craters. A crater is a big hole. So even though the moon's pretty cool, it seems like it doesn't really have that much for us. That's why we can't survive here. All right, did you figure it out before we switch to our page? This is a caption. A caption is a sentence or more that tells you what's in a picture, whereas a label is normally using an arrow inside the picture to point to something. If you got it right, awesome job. If you didn't, I hope you get it next time. Oops, I almost skipped one. Spacesuits. So for this header, I'm thinking that this page will be about what they wear, their spacesuits, to make sure they're safe. This is astronaut Ronald Evans wearing his spacesuit. Look here, what's that? 3, 2, 1, a caption! It's time to put on our spacesuits. Spacesuits help keep our skin safe from the very hot sun and the very cold shade. So because it's freezing out in space, if they took this off, they wouldn't be able to keep their body temperature at a safe level, and they would either burn themselves or they'd freeze. The spacesuits have air in them, so we can breathe. Now we are dressed for our walk on the moon. So once they have their little air tank, they'll be able to breathe out there in space because we know that space doesn't have oxygen for us. There's no plants there. And if you remember from our field trip, Elmo and his friend, they wore these so that they could breathe up in space. Oh, our next page is called Moonwalk. And no, I don't think they're talking about the fun dance where you walk backwards. Walking on the moon is fun. We can take big, light steps. Ding, ding, ding. I think we found a word of the week. Light. We are very light because the moon has less gravity than Earth. So here he's explaining something to us. So we use the word because, another one of our words of the week. We carry space tools with us. We have jobs to do here. I wonder what jobs they're doing. He seems like he might be taking a picture, or he might be picking up rocks, kind of with one of those claws you can get in a vending machine, or maybe a claw you can get to pick up trash. But I know you're thinking it, so I'll tell you, I see another word of the week. But I haven't seen many long O sounds so far. I see a lot of ones that make the oo sound, and I see a lot of short O's, but we'll keep looking. Moon rocks. Wow, look how pretty that is. It's kind of purplish. Weird. We found rocks and bits of dust to bring back home. We will show the rocks to people back on Earth. So they're showing it to us because we're not able to go see it. And maybe a picture doesn't help. A picture here in space might not come out that well. But when you bring it back, we can see an actual thing from space, and that's amazing. So I've said the word many times, but bring, they brought it back. They didn't just leave it or take a picture and then drop it back on the moon. They would bring it back with them, kind of like a souvenir. I found a long O word. Did you find it too? Home. Nice job if you did. Ooh, this is a difficult word. This is a nonfiction word. This is great for learning about the moon. It says lunar rover. I have a long O sound right there. Oh, rover. The lunar rover. Look here, that's the lunar rover. Kind of looks like a cool dirt bike motorcycle. We drive around in our lunar rover. It's even more fun than walking in our fat spacesuits. Look at all the dust the lunar rover kicks up. So if you look here, it's difficult to see because it's a picture they took on the moon, but there's so much dust here getting kicked up by the wheels. It's amazing that they were able to bring an entire vehicle with them. Look, that's way bigger than him. They were able to bring that onto the moon so that they can go far distances or pick things up. Taking pictures. Oh, finally, maybe they'll be able to explain it to us. We take pictures of our footprints. So even though this isn't soil, this is sand and it's moon dust, they're able to still make a footprint, and it looks like how it would look like on Earth. We take a picture of our spaceship too. Wow, look at that spaceship. Doesn't that look like tinfoil? They have the American flag. That thing's pretty big. It says United States right here. Our flag is up. Yes, we noticed. And he's saluting the flag to show that America's been there. Let's take one last look before we go. So they haven't left yet. They're still here, but they're doing that first. We see rocks and dust. Look how big that rock is to him. He must be in one of the craters. Let's go home. It's time to go back home. What is it like to be on the moon? It's strange and fun at the same time. Look at that. You have to push down your paper, but I'll do it to mine. Look how small the Earth looks and how far away it is. The moon that's normally small up in our sky is this big land that goes on for miles. When you look up and see the moon, what do you think? Our moon is beautiful. And here, from the flip side, this little boy's on Earth with trees, rocks, waters, stars, sky. And as small as the Earth looked on the other page, this big moon has now become little because we're so far away from it. The end. Now, if you ever want to do some extra work with your journeys, you get bored and say, oh, Miss Remitz, give me something to do. There's always extra pages in your book that we don't get to in class. So things like Dig Deeper, where you can do little activities or try to comprehend what you read. You can think about why the author bothered to write this. And you can even try to explain some things or have a conversation with someone. We are going to be reading about Mae Jemison later on in the week. She is a famous astronaut, and she is a woman who was able to do this. Not many women were astronauts back in the day. It was more of a male job, but now a lot of women are becoming part of it, and she's one of them. So we're going to learn about her later on. Oops, excuse me, I dropped something. We're going to be learning about her later on in the week, but I hope you get to read this. If I went too fast for you, go ahead back, read it to yourself, and see if I missed any long O words or any words of the week. You are going to now put your words in alphabetical order. You are going to read your journeys. You are going to start your word work homework. And as always, you can practice your spelling, practice your reading, and let me know what it is that you are reading, okay? I look forward to next week's Flipgrids, or well, this week's Flipgrids. And I loved watching your Flipgrids from Friday. Thank you and have a great day. I'm going to post the how-to soon. Woohoo!